Hi guys, how are you? Mind this one. Welcome back to MMT. My name is Nick, also known as Mind this one Titanium. All right, so what's going on in the Middle East? We have the crisis going on. It's a mini one. I don't think it's going to last, but nevertheless, we'll call it a crisis. Market likes themes. So Qatar has been isolated, and countries are breaking off diplomatic relationship, and Qatar is right here, where Saudi Arabia is, right above it. And the problem with this canceling of flights to Qatar and Doha is that it creates a problem for the airline. Okay, they have billions of dollars of airplanes just sitting, wondering what's going to happen if this continues and they block access to Qatar Airways. You have United Arab Emirates here, you have Saudi here, you have Bahrain over here. So all flights would have to either go around here to go to the south, or go this way. To the north, Iran, that's their friends, I guess, or whatever the case is. Kuwait is still neutral, all right, and then over here you have Iraq. Now, this is significant impact to the Qatar Airways operation, because fuel costs are going to go, sky high for them. At the same time, passengers are not going to choose to fly this five-star airline. So then you start getting into the expats that work in Qatar, especially the Western ones. If they say, fuck this, I don't need to be a part of this, and they start leaving their jobs, that's gonna affect them for sure. Okay. Next to it, their sovereign wealth fund is quite huge. Okay, they own stakes in Volkswagen and Tiffany's. These are Royal Dutch, Barclays. These stocks could be impacted this morning. So something to think about. Something to think about. Um, Qatar interest rates spiked on the news of the Arab cuts, and so did their peg to the dollar. I think they have about 3.5 billion dollars in reserves, and here it is. I might have said 3.5 billion, $350 billion in reserves for a small country. That's a lot. Okay, I think Saudi has something like around 500 billion from like 740. So just to understand, Qatar is, they might call it a country, but it's really smaller than Houston. so so it's very small. But it has been trending down since the oil crisis, and this is definitely not going to help. If it continues to fall at some point, they might get a DPEG going. It depends. I doubt that that's going to happen anytime soon, but it is possible that this could happen. Okay, it's something to keep in mind. That, as most of you guys know, I'm a pilot, captain in the United Arab Emirates. I'm pretty close to what's going on here. Here's the aviation chart. This is Saudi down here, this is Bahrain up here, and this is the UAE. Okay, so they're pretty much forced to go to the north before going anywhere else. Now that if they close the airspace, as they say they will. When you take a look at their fleets, they have very expensive airplanes, state of the art, Airbus 380. They got the 787 Dreamliner, the 350, the 777. This is, and you look at the fleet size down here. You cannot be the size of Houston, running an airline this size, and five-star airline at that. Okay, and tons of more orders for more airplanes. And you think that this is not going to have an impact on the country? It will. Okay, especially if expats start leaving, pilots start leaving, and then they don't have enough pilots to fly the airplane. Uh, you have this iron just sitting on the ground. That's going to be a problem. Okay, but again, let's see how long it lasts. Taking a look at oil here, we had the 1, 2, 3. Now it's come back. We'll probably continue to trend lower. And this is what I've been saying for almost a year now. When everybody was all excited, when it was up in the low 50s, mid 50s, and they were like, "Oh man, this is great. Oil's going back up. OPEC cut, 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 cut." This is wonderful, but I said no, because it's all about global demand. And the global economy sucks. There won't be demand. And I was short all up in here. And sure enough, I was proven right. And here we are again. So, when you take a look at these these wicks, okay, if oil comes down around 42, this would be a nice entry. Okay, long term, but it will be an entry. But it doesn't mean that it cannot continue to go lower. It most certainly can go lower. But again, I've been saying for a while, get out of oil. There's no reason to be in it. And even now, after the OPEC cuts, extended cuts, zero fucks given, crisis, or you want to call it a crisis, not, but whatever. Crisis in the Gulf, zero fucks given. It only underscores what I've been saying here for a while. So taking a look at the VIX, historically low, very low, zero fucks given, everybody's happy. Not a good sign. It's a contrarian indicator. Taking a look at the World Stock Index in wave 5, we took a short in here. I personally didn't, but we talked about a possible reversal, head and shoulders, didn't happen, off it went. World Stock Index minus the US, again, wave 5, off it goes. And this is why I don't like wave 5s. I don't feel like I need to be in them. I don't know when they're gonna turn. They could turn on a dime. Okay? I don't care about wave 5. I care about what's coming next. That's what I want to be prepared for. Okay? Taking a look at REITs, it's still in this corrective structure. You had a 1. Now it's correcting, and then we'll look for a C wave down. But for now, if you would have bought in here, okay, set a stop below it, that's fine, you're making some money, but these are short-term trades. You don't want to be staying long in this, okay? Moving on to the S&P 500, I was expecting this move to come a little bit lower to where the previous A is. It didn't happen, so it would have been a 1, 2, 3 sideways corrective action, and then possibly gone up from there or fallen apart. Didn't do any of that stuff. It created a short C, bounced, created a small little flag in here, okay, and then broke out. Life is good. How high can it go? You know, it can go as high as it wants to. This is wave 5. It does whatever it wants. It can come all the way up and then just crash. Okay? These are just people chasing at this point. Seriously, they're just chasing. There's other places to make money. You don't have to be involved in stocks. Taking a look at the dollar index went into a wedge. You can see it, you know, fairly clearly. It's a 1, 2, 3, and then now is falling apart. We were long down here, okay, and it fell down. Waited for the pop. Let me take it on a smaller time frame so I can show you. Let's take it to an hour. Okay, we waited for this pop. It broke through. Waited for the pop. We got out somewhere in here. Stayed out of it for the most part. And now we have this previous low that is broken. I've circled it, popping right back into it. Now you want to take a long trade. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you which currency pairs to trade long. I will keep that for Patreon subscribers. I'm not going to sit here and teach real progressive nut jobs how to do this. So yeah, you know, you want to go long here in something, that's fine. But if it breaks this, I would look for a deeper correction or to the upside. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's take a look at gold. Take a look at gold. It's just this, I don't know what this is. This is just mass chaos. Okay. Since February, it's done pretty much nothing. Back and forth between the 1250 area. Okay. Just a disaster. We have traded it to the long side, but just nothing here. Let me touch on this. People who think that the Fed is going to start selling It's bonds, and everybody's gonna start like freaking out, and there's gonna be inflation, and there's gonna be this, and there's gonna be that. That is nonsense. Okay, you can forget about inflation for an extended period of time. Not going to happen. Okay, I want to be very, very clear. Do not expect any inflation anytime soon. Forget it. Not gonna happen. There are way too many global economic problems to get any kind of inflation. Alright? Way too many problems. Forget it. Silver, going back to December, again, just going up and down, right around the 1720 area. Okay? Gets up here, start shorting. I don't see any inflation anywhere. While we're at it, let's talk about Bitcoin. Uh, this looked like a topping pattern. This looks more like a topping pattern. It's doing this corrective move. Once this breaks, forget it. Down we go. It's again, if you take a look at gold, let's go back to gold. And here's gold. You see the same kind of pattern where it kind of did this, and then it went into some kind of corrective move. And then after that, what happened? It just fell apart. See it? It's the same thing with Bitcoin or Bitcoin or whatever the fuck. All right. There's nothing. There's not. Don't be touching it. Take your money and run. If you went out and gambled and made money, great. Get out. Get out. Making the same pattern. 1, 2, 3, breaks, down it goes. And it will happen fast. You're not going to have time to blink. Taking a look at the Russell. This is risk on, risk off. Everything else is making new highs. Everybody's happy. This is in a F flag up against resistance. It's not making new highs, having difficulties. When this breaks, it's going to get ugly. Okay, doesn't mean it can't go up to the upside. It can do whatever it wants, but when it breaks, it's going to get ugly. So keep an eye on it. German DAX creating this 1, 2, 3. We're waiting for the C. Nothing much to do right now. Just kind of. Oh, I hate when it does that. Let me redo that. So we're just looking for this trend line to break. Okay. Once it breaks, we'll look for the move down to the C, and then see what happens there. If it starts creating some kind of flag above or below, then what we'll do is we'll take the next short below that. But for now, there's nothing to short. Just sit there and look at it, follow it, monitoring. And it's important to remember that I keep saying, there's times in the market where you can make money, and there's times like this where you cannot make money. Because everything is in wave 5, it's just going up, and no matter what the news are, zero fucks given, just go up, go up, go up, and this is all froth. Okay? When it breaks, it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be fast. So don't try to trade every single day. The FTSE is in this tight consolidation right in here. These usually lead to the downside. Okay? Usually, not always, but usually. And they're real tight, and then they just go in the opposite direction, straight down. So keep an eye on that. US dollar, Canadian dollar. We have the one move. Now we're doing this corrective move. And again, this is one of this moves. So when it goes, it's going to go hard, and it's going to go long. Okay? Whenever it breaks, the move will be substantial. It could literally double or even triple your account, depending on your exposure. We are short, long term, very long term. We are short. It keeps coming down to this support area, and just waiting for it. Just waiting for this to break. U.S. dollar, Mexican peso. Remember how the peso raised interest rates and was supposed to be negative for the peso? Well, that was a fucking mistake, wasn't it? It's breaking the previous low for the second time. This is not good. This is not good. Okay, look for further weakness in the dollar versus the Mexican peso. Okay, if you guys didn't get out by now, you're practicing like mental game. I don't know what to tell you. And finally, US dollar renminbi. We talked about this. It could have gone either way. It broke to the downside. It's continuing to remain weak. We'll look for further downside. And that's about it. More in-depth data will be available to the Patreon subscribers. As you guys know, my channel was attacked by a bunch of retards. So what I'm doing now is I'm keeping the more important information for Patreon subscribers. And here's the website. You can come over here and join us. I do keep certain data restricted from pseudo-intellectual MMTers, bunch of retards, who just run around and just make shit up as they go. We don't need to educate those people. I don't need shift bots, okay? And one of the main reasons why I'm so rough with idiots is because I don't want them to follow me. I don't want them anywhere near me, okay? I need them to get the fuck out. And that's why I created this Patreon. Now they can attack anything they want. None of my content is going to be destroyed, okay? So that's it for now. Come join. If you're not a shift bot or a pseudo-intellectual, self-proclaimed economic expert in MMT, okay, who doesn't understand that taxes fund government spending, those people I don't need. I don't need no real progressive retards, okay? I want good, sound mind people who understand what is going on, where we apply our own money to what we say and we make money. Okay, people that just sit there yip, 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 and they yap away as if they know what they're talking about. Bunch of loudmouths. We don't need those people. Okay. So thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.